Right here now to react is Ambassador John Bolton, former U.S. Ambassador to the UN, IEA Senior Fellow. He is also a Fox News contributor. Give me your reaction.
Well, I think the sanctions that the Obama White House announced are like playing patty cake. Look, if in fact the information they have is that Russia tried to meddle in our elections, whether they succeeded or not, whatever the extent of it, we don't know. But if they feel this was a serious act, this is not a law enforcement matter. This is not something of Treasury regulations. This is a subject that requires retaliation by the United States. Maybe we don't say it publicly beforehand, probably not. But we ought to make it clear after the fact what we did to show not just to Russia that we can do it, but to show to the rest of the world you do not try to interfere in American elections. There may not be bridges blowing up or airports being bombed, but cyber warfare is warfare if, in fact, that's what the data show.
So they did say at the end of the statement that the actions are not the sum total of the response to Russia's aggressive activities, that they're going to continue to take a variety of actions. There's also, there's the compound outside D.C. in Maryland. There's also one here in New York we saw earlier. They're shutting down those compounds, declaring them persona non grata, the 35 Russian intelligence operatives. Here we're looking at video right now of one of the compounds where they're, basically expelling the members that are there and shutting down the whole compound. You see this isn't a whole lot. It doesn't seem like, sort of antagonizing the Russians and causing all kinds of problems on the way out the door as Donald Trump comes in. I mean, to some people, like you heard in the report before, it feels like a vendetta where it looks like Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin might have a different kind of relationship, and this is making it as difficult as possible before he takes office. You disagree with that?
Right. Well, three things. Really, you talked about the statement they made at the end, the Obama administration made, that more is coming. This is just one step. Frankly, the Obama administration has no credibility in terms of its retaliatory actions unless you can see them publicly. And as I said before, there may be good and sufficient reason why you don't make it public in advance. But until we have some tangible proof that, in fact, there has been other retaliation, I just take that as the exemplar of what most of Obama's foreign policy has been, which is mere words. Second, on the expulsion of the 35 so-called diplomats who were probably declared or undeclared intelligence operatives, they've muddied the waters. They say in the statement that, in part, declaring these people persona non grata is in response to harassment of American diplomats in Moscow. I have no doubt whatever that American diplomats in Moscow are being harassed, and this is probably a perfectly appropriate response. The two compounds that are being closed, I was never invited to either one, but they're recreational facilities for Russian diplomats. Let them live in Manhattan for the rest of the winter, if that's it. And we'll wake up tomorrow, I'm willing to bet right now, and find that some number of American diplomats, maybe 35, maybe 36, have been expelled by the Russians. So, if this is a serious matter, this cyber attack, then it should not have been confused along with a different, perhaps equally serious, but a different matter of harassment of American diplomats. This is the same confusion and muddied thinking in Obama's response we've seen so many times before.
And how we got to this place. I can't let you go without asking you about the other fire that was sort of lit on the way out the door, and that has to do with our ally in Israel. So the mayor of Jerusalem told us that his suggestion for the president-elect Donald Trump to move the embassy, he said it right here on After the Bell. Let's listen.
My recommendation to President-elect Trump is to move the embassy immediately to the city of Jerusalem, align interests with all the moderate Arab states against radical Islam that are threatening them as much as they're threatening Europe, Israel, and the United States.
Ambassador, what do you think about that move?
Well, I think it should be done sooner rather than later. I think this is an important political point for Trump that distinguishes him from other presidential candidates, all of whom have said they too would move the embassy and then didn't do it. He can do it in the first 24 hours of his presidency by taking down the sign at our consulate in Jerusalem and replacing it with a sign that says Embassy of the United States of America. And then he can take a somewhat longer-term view to put an embassy in West Jerusalem, that is to say in territory that nobody, I mean nobody, ever believes would be part of a so-called Palestinian state. And I think it's like his conversation with the president of Taiwan, it goes to a very important issue. Nobody tells the United States who to talk to. Nobody tells the United States that they can't put their embassy in the capital city of the country that they're being represented in. Well, I think some people will be upset, including a lot of left-wing intellectuals in the United States. I think some aggressive diplomacy by the new administration to explain to Arab countries in particular that this is a matter we consider to be a sovereign decision of the United States, I think will calm it down. And other than the media storm and the commentary undoubtedly from former President Obama, with whom we're going to be graced, I'm afraid, for a long time, I don't think it matters much.
All right, Ambassador Bolton, thank you for your time. We always appreciate it.
Thank you.